Our minds shall always emphasize on savings the moment we find ourselves in a financial crisis. And that is exactly how it is coming to the realization of the president now that the country is getting into a financial crisis. For example, just have a look at this short clip I did of how many trips the president has had since when he was sworn in on 13th September last year.
So help me God.
His Excellency, the President of the Republic.
I want to ask our members of parliament who are here that I'm going to adjust my budget again. I will knock off a few things, including the travel allowances and many of the things that are in there, so that I can find 500 million shillings to give it to start the manufacture of local devices.
Is categorically in relation to the president's travel. I've not mentioned of his CSs and his MPs. And in fact, what is disheartening is that one of his rogue MPs, Silvanus Osoro, went on broad daylight to explain how corrupt he is, to an extent that he was very categorical, stating that for him to clear any MP for an outside trip, then he has to be bribed so that he can facilitate the same. Just take a listen.
Wapanga kabisa. Sasa wewe ukipiga kelele hapa hutakula pesa. Wewe unafikiria mimi ni maskini? Tulia chini. Waambie Kipeleka atakimbia hapa atengeneze pesa. Wewe ukitulia hapa hata nyinyi wote mkitulia, hii uwanja mko wachache. Mimi napanganga na hivi hapa watu wanakula 200 wakienda. Hivi vitu ndogo sana. Unanyamaza ninazungumza alafu nakulipa. Unanyamaza na uzungumza alafu nakulipa. Ama namna gani wa mama kule? Ukitulia nyinyi wote, hii malipo iko. Mimi nimekuwa bunge sasa siku nyingi na nimetengeneza kitu ya kutosha. Unafikiri nimeingia suzi? Na mimi ndio chief whip kule bungeni. Hawa watu wote, hawa wabunge wote mimi ndio nawasimamia. Na wakitaka hata kuenda ng'ambo lazima wakuje kidogo kwa ofisi yangu, wananiachia yangu ndio wanaenda. Hiyo hapa atakuja kuwapanga. Tulia. Wale wote ambao wako hapa juu tushuke chini. Tushuke chini tafadhali. Tushuke chini, tushuke chini. Wale wote wako juu tushuke chini. Tushuke chini tujipange sasa. Wale wote wako hapa juu tushuke chini. Wale wote wako hapa tushuke chini. Tushuke chini tafadhali. Tushuke chini, tushuke chini. Tushuke chini. Tushuke chini, tushuke chini.
But of course, I choose not to blame Silvanus Osoro simply because our leaders are a clear reflection of our society, and those are the kind of people to whom Kenyans elected. So we must not blame them to such an extent. And don't forget to put it in mind that these are the same leaders that we are expecting them to revive our ailing economy. My fellow Kenyan, Kenya is currently at its deathbed if these are the kind of leaders we expect them to revive our economy. Imagine, leadership of coercion has never been leadership, and it has reached to an extent that our leaders seek or need to buy our attention for we to listen to them. They say money and power shall always reveal people's real character, and from such sentiments from Silvanus Osoro, then I kid you not, that is exactly who he is. And imagine, this is just a mere parliamentarian glorifying how corrupt he is. What of the other powerful CSs and PSs who are meandering in the corridors of power? Such sentiments from such leaders are the ones that make Kenyans very angry and regrettable as to why they voted in President William Samoei Ruto. Many Kenyans are currently suffering the consequences of their own actions that they chose on 9th August 2022. So in other words, no room for pity. And as they say, when you want to know what God thinks about money, then just have a look at those he has given and not those who stole it. And that is exactly what is blatantly being portrayed by Silvanus Osoro. And this actually reminds me of Uncle Fred Matiang'i, to whom he once prophesied before the chambers of parliament that if Kenyans are not keen enough, parliament was going to be a den of wash men and conmen, stroke liars. And actually, few years later, his prophecy is slowly manifesting.
Chief Justice, one candidate in a constituency in Nairobi moved around on a Sunday morning to every restaurant in that constituency. And everyone he found in that restaurant on that day, they give them 200 shillings, others 500. To every butchery, they find you queuing to get a kilo of meat, they give you 200, and so on. That can't be their own money, obviously, as it were. And if you followed the guy and you tracked their record, you discover they're one of the people that Kinoti is actually following up. But until Kinoti gathers enough information, some of the information we have is from intelligence. And my judge friends who are in the room tell me intelligence is not evidence. You see, so the question is, and then you are faced with this thing of you are using evidence you have acquired from illegal sources. So I don't know how we will win, because you see, we have intelligence, this is what's happening. We have intelligence, this is the kind of guy we are dealing with. I turn up at, before my friend judge, he says this is evidence obtained from illegal sources. And then there's nothing I can do. This fellow continues to bribe people around. And as I said, honestly speaking, and I'm saying this as a responsible public servant, if we are not careful, it is going to become very, very difficult to manage, especially elective institutions in this country. So the question is, how are we going to manage the governance of the country as we move forward? Because this campaign finance law, you will take it to Parliament. Who is going to amend it? The same wash-wash guys who have arrived there. And so on. Note that wash-wash culture is what actually got them into Parliament in the first place. It's a debate. We just need to find out what to do. But the truth of the matter is that we notice these things, we see these things, and you're the ones who keep telling us all the time, intelligence is not evidence. Okay, or it's evidence obtained through illegal means. So there we are. So I think if we came together and looked for mechanisms, maybe a long distance review and regulatory framework for campaign financing might save this country.
But honestly, that has just been my opinion. If you do have a contrary opinion to mine, kindly do feel free to drop them in the comment section and I'll give them a right of reply. And as I come to the penultimate part of this video, in case if you're watching me for the very first time, kindly do consider hitting on the subscribe button. If you have been watching my videos and you have not subscribed, kindly just consider hitting on the subscribe button. And my word advice of the day to you is, my dear brother, an antelope is no one's goat, and never in this life shall you be able to domesticate a zebra, for with time it will always find its way back into the forest. Thank you, and may God bless you.